Good morning, citizens of South Africa, members of the media, ActionSA activists and support. My name is Bitumelo Molefe. Today we are outside the Constitutional Court, which is the highest court in the country. This space represents ActionSA's firm stance to reinforce law and order and ensure that our country is free of corruption and that our public service is professionalized. Joining us today is our premier candidate for Gauteng, Funzim Gobeni, and our fixed SA member for public services, Mpumi Edward. So we're just going to get into it. Incoming premier of Gauteng, to the stage, please.
Thank you very much, Bitumelo. Good morning, everyone. We as ActionSA have formulated a plan to professionalize public service, and we are going to do so through 4 key intervention areas. First is the institutional strengthening. Secondly, the public service capacity. Thirdly, the improvement of our corporate governance and the promotion of civic engagement. The state institutions in South Africa are not providing their residents with essential services. Cases of financial management, mismanagement, corruption, and cadre deployment in the public sector have left the government unable to carry out its duties. To enhance the way state institutions operate and reform the public sector, significant adjustments are required. An ActionSA government will begin by depoliticizing state institutions, by prohibiting cadre deployment, and ensuring all appointments to civil service are based on merit rather than loyalty to a political party. We will gradually and responsibly transfer more service delivery responsibilities to competent local governments, and local governments can ensure more sustainable service delivery to residents and shoulder government duties related to social development, public transport, and law enforcement. By collecting information on civil servants' performance, modern monitoring and evaluation systems will enhance the efficiency of government service delivery. This will improve civil service accountability and transparency. Furthermore, a culture of leadership excellence in the public service will be established by adopting higher standards based on the values of education, professionalism, and ethical leadership. These values will be embedded at all levels of government, starting from the grassroots to the very top. It is therefore crucial that we reward civil servants who perform their duties well and implement strong accountability measures in the public service, including criminal sanctions for negligence and derelictions of duty and contraventions of ethical codes. ActionSA will end the cycle of outsourcing core services and instead ensure that workers at all levels of government performing core functions are made permanent employees of the relevant government entities to avoid unfair and exploitative labor practices. Additionally, we will empower the private sector to provide services through partnership with the state, enhancing the efficiency of service delivery to South African households. Systems will be implemented to ensure that the state does not overpay of goods and services through the modernization of procurement practices by incorporating price benching exercises and transparency mechanisms. Furthermore, we want to digitize all procurement activities to facilitate data analytics across the whole procurement processes. We as ActionSA aim to create a climate of trust and collaboration between all government levels and political parties to ensure that public officials and politicians work together to improve South Africans' lives for everyone. Skills audits will also be conducted for all senior officials earning over 500,000 a year to verify that they indeed possess the skills for their positions. An ActionSA government will also implement a program of decentralization of powers to the provincial and local governments. We will subject local and provincial governments to financial and capacity assessments to ensure that those receiving delegated authorities can effectively fulfill their duties. We will also institute a comprehensive budget reform that prioritizes basic service delivery, including water and sanitation, waste management, road maintenance, electricity provision, and housing. Lastly, we'll improve the collaboration between government entities and civil society to create productive relationships. We will work closely with the community leaders to avoid violence during service delivery protests and provide alternative dispute resolution mechanism for residents' grievances. ActionSA firmly believes that it is crucial to invest in ensuring that the young people are well informed about the power of their vote. And we will therefore introduce civic education in the school curriculum all the way to tertiary institutions. Under ActionSA government, obstacles like travel issues and voting stations accessibility will be eliminated to ensure that no one is discouraged from voting. We as ActionSA are committed to serving the people of South Africa and ensuring that all our plans becomes a reality through responsible and ethical implementation. When we have our date with Destiny on May 29th, remember to choose a government that is for the people rather than a government that is focused on their own selfish and corrupt needs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Funzi. Taking the podium next is ActionSA Team Fix SA member for Public Services, Mpumi Edward.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Gauteng Premier Candidate Funzi Ngobeni, Regional Chairperson Mamore, Regional Campaigns Manager Silo Mabelebe, Program Director Buitumelo Mulifi, ActionSA activist, and good morning, fellow South Africans. Thank you for joining me today as we discuss a crucial issue that affects each and every one of us, the professionalization of our public service. ActionSA firmly believes that the foundation of a thriving South Africa lies in a capable, efficient, and politically independent public service. Today, I will outline our comprehensive plan to achieve this through our 4 key intervention areas. Our Premier candidate has mentioned these areas as well. I should note, we want to strengthen our institutions, we want to capacitate our public servants, and we want to improve cooperative governance and promote civic education and engagement. Let us first talk about strengthening our institutions. Our state institutions have been compromised by cadre deployment, corruption, financial mismanagement, and this has led to a breakdown in service delivery, leaving many South Africans without the basic services that they need. ActionSA's plan to take away and to remove politics from state institutions is very clear. We will prohibit cadre deployment and ensure that all public servants' appointments are based on merit. This will create a workforce that is competent and dedicated to serving the public of South Africa, rather than political interests. To improve government service delivery, we will adopt modern monitoring and evaluation systems. These systems will gather data on public servants' performance. They will enhance accountability and transparency. Additionally, we will foster a culture of leadership excellence by embedding values of education, of professionalism, and ethical leadership at all levels of government. This is crucial for restoring public trust and ensuring effective governance in South Africa. A critical aspect of our plan is the rationalization of government structures. We will reduce the number of national government departments. We currently have more than 30 government departments, and we are going to reduce those departments to a maximum of 20 to eliminate duplication in positions. Just to note as well that we are going to get rid of deputy minister positions in our public sector. We will free up funds that can be redirected towards the wages of frontline service delivery workers. We are currently as South Africa standing at almost 40% of public sector wage expenditure, and we want to reduce that by eliminating duplicate positions and prioritize frontline service delivery workers such as security officers and cleaners. And we are going to insource them from all areas, from all departments, all spheres of government, from our local government, provincial government, and national government. Furthermore, we will promote long-term thinking in government decision-making by expanding data-driven approaches based on the best available evidence across scientific, economic, social, and environmental domains. Our review of state-owned enterprises will minimize wasteful expenditure by launching a responsible program of privatization of winding down non-profitable SOEs. We believe that service delivery responsibility should be to transfer to competent local governments most of the responsibilities that are currently held at national and provincial government. We want those responsibilities to come to local governments so that we can ensure more sustainable and efficient services to our residents in South Africa. We will then focus also on ensuring that there's sufficient capacity on our public service in terms of our public servants. The effectiveness of human resources department is paramount. They must improve their talent management capabilities to support better functioning of departments. Performance-based contracts will incentivize civil servants who excel in their roles, while stringent consequences management will address non-performance. Accountability is a non-negotiable principle. Accountability is a non-negotiable principle. We will implement measures that include criminal sanctions for negligence of duties and contraventions of ethical codes. Furthermore, we will address unfair and exploitative labor practices by ensuring that workers performing core functions are made permanent employees, subject to necessary feasibility studies. Procurement processes must be modernized. We will incorporate price benchmarking exercises and transparency mechanisms to prevent overpayment of goods and services. We will also ensure that our procurement processes enable us to be able to draw data, and we are going to make sure that we enhance them so that they function efficiently and transparently. To enhance service delivery, we will forge partnerships with the private sector. By leveraging the private sector's capabilities, we can provide more efficient services to South African households. In terms of corporate governance, it is essential for a unified approach to national development. ActionSA aims to foster a culture of cooperative and trust between political parties and levels of government. We will decentralize powers to provincial and local government to be their responsibility so that they can ensure that there's capacity and the duties are being carried out effectively. Prioritizing basic service delivery is crucial for improving the lives of South Africans and promoting economic growth. Comprehensive budget reforms will ensure that essential services such as water and sanitation, waste management, road maintenance, electricity provision, and housing receive the necessary funding. Our zero-tolerance approach towards corruption will be strictly enforced in all local governments, provincial and national governments departments. Skills audit for senior officials will ensure that those earning significant salaries are qualified for their positions. Lastly, civic engagement is the lifeblood of a vibrant democracy. We will eliminate barriers to voting, such as transport issues and inaccessibility to voting stations, ensuring that every citizen can exercise their right to vote, especially the youth of this country. The Independent Electoral Commission, the IEC, will receive adequate resources for voter education and awareness programs, empowering citizens with the knowledge to make informed decisions. Educating our youth on the value of their vote is essential for fostering a culture of civic responsibility. We will introduce civic education in schools and collaborate with academic institutions to provide civic education to tertiary students. Improving collaboration between government entities and civic society will create productive relationships, and alternative dispute resolution mechanisms will address resident grievances, reducing the likelihood of violent service delivery protests, as we've seen in the past in this country. In conclusion, South Africans, ActionSA's plan to professionalize the public service is a comprehensive strategy aimed at rebuilding South Africa's state institutions at all spheres. By focusing on institutional strengthening, public service capacitation, corporate governance, and civic engagement, we can create a capable, efficient, and politically independent state that serves the people of South Africa. Together, we can restore trust in our public institutions and ensure a brighter future for all. I thank you, South Africans.
And there you have it, South Africans. Practical solutions have been brought forth. Key priority for ActionSA, professionalizing the public service. But remember, this will only be possible when ActionSA is in government. So we urge you, we ask you, South Africans, vote for a capable party on the 29th of May, because only action will only fix South Africa.
Yes.